Hello, welcome back to my channel. So this is a video I've been thinking about making for a while. As you know, earlier in the year I took a break because things got very busy with events and writing and other things. So over the last few months I've been assessing things whilst I've been away from YouTube. I've been doing lots of writing. And so the sad news for those of you still watching these videos is this will be my last planned video on the YouTube channel. I'm essentially hanging up my hat for a number of different reasons. So that's all you came to see, to work out what's going on. Well, thanks for watching. So what's happening in the meantime? There's lots of different things going on. I'm busy with lots of writing projects. As most of you know, I still have a day job. I work part-time and write part-time. So obviously I still, need to pay the bills, and writing is part of that. It contributes to my income. I've had a few opportunities come along in the last few months for things in the future. I've pitched some things to my agent and other projects that I'm working on. They're going to keep me busy. As you know, I self-published my first novella, New York Minute. If you haven't picked it up, check it out below. It's available as an ebook, paperback, and free on Kindle Unlimited. So that was my first step into self-publishing. And I want to do more, and I've got other ideas, and there's the second novella to do. So the first kind of pressure is a pressure on time. Doing the YouTube channel, I originally started for a few reasons. One was because it was around the kind of lockdown phase and I couldn't go to any events. I missed talking to authors, so I started doing author interviews, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The second reason I started it is that there aren't many traditionally published authors on YouTube, and the amount of misinformation out there about the process was horrific, and I was tired of it, and so I put out a number of videos debunking all of those things. And I wrote an ebook, which is also available go and check that out on Amazon, that has information about debunking myths to do with traditional publishing, has information on my query package, how I found an agent, and the long story, and just general writing advice too. So you can also check that out. I've found that with doing these YouTube videos, one of the difficulties when I'm doing writing advice videos is that they're a bit too broad in terms of the audience, because you could be anywhere in the world watching this, and also at any stage of your writing journey, or you could just be someone idly passing by, you see my face and you click on the video and start watching it. So the number of people I'm able to actually help directly isn't as great as I would like. And so I'm going to focus my mentoring and writing support efforts in another way. I should say, going back, now that events are open again, I'm able to talk to authors, and the lockdowns are finished. So now I get to talk to authors in person, and I enjoy that, and I still like doing it. I mean, I love doing the author interviews, but they are a huge kind of time suck, and arranging, scheduling with authors around the world and so on takes up a lot of my time. So I'm just going to have to step back from doing that and just do it more in person. Back to the writing advice thing. If you don't know, I'm a member of The Write Advice. There's a link down below. This is where myself and some other authors who are traditionally and self-published provide mentoring, ongoing support, editorial support, and query packages. So that's what I'm now doing. So people who are at a certain stage of their writing, whether they've finished a draft, they're working on a novel and they're getting ready, but they need a little bit of help, or they just want to ask questions about how does it work working with an agent and an editor and a publisher, what's the process like. So I do query packages on there. I do monthly mentoring sessions with people with an hour-long chat and things. There are other people on there, other authors who will do, copy editing and line editing. We do kind of one page or one chapter critiques that kind of like, this is the stuff you need to work on. But this is for people who are a bit further along, or people who are taking their writing a bit more seriously. Because as I said, anybody who's watching this on YouTube, you could be like, oh, one day I'm going to write a book. And if you're at that stage, I've done some videos that might give you some tips, but I can't actually help you on a month-by-month or yearly basis, because I'm not working with you regularly to understand what needs, what you actually need to work on, what are you good at, what are you not good at yet, what can you work on and improve. And I can't do that through the comments section. So working with the right advice, working with people on a one-on-one basis, I think will be more productive. I think it'll be more beneficial for individuals. And I like building relationships with people and seeing them progress. One person sent me their query package. I looked at it and I was delighted to be able to write back to them and say, you don't need my help. I'm not going to charge you for this service. There's nothing I can do. Here are some authors. Here are some agents you can contact. Here's a website. You don't need my help. You're already ready. This is good enough. So it was kind of putting to bed some of those person's doubts and their worries and their concerns and say, this is ready. Go for it. I think it's brilliant. I think your work is so cool. And I love being able to do that. That was just fantastic. The other thing I did on the channel sometimes is I talk about my own work, where I am in my writing journey. And weirdly, some people had come to my writing channel for writing advice or for interviews. They weren't particularly interested in what I was doing, and some were. So I was doing a lot of different things with the channel, finding my way gradually, and I stopped doing those videos eventually because a lot of people just weren't watching them. So if you are interested in my writing, my work, what I'm doing, then I suggest you subscribe to my newsletter. There's a link down below. And once a month, I send out a roundup of, this is where I am with the various projects. This is what I'm doing. This is what's coming out next year. These are events I'm going to be going to, and that kind of thing. My website has information about all of my books and some of the information on events, but I only use my newsletter now to post updates on what I'm up to. So if you want that kind of information, subscribe to my newsletter and you can follow my journey on what's going on, because next year I've already got 2 or 3 things lined up. There's the 3rd book in the current trilogy, The Nightingale and the Falcon. The 3rd book, The Sorrow of the Sea, here's the cover, comes out in May. So if you haven't read the first 2 books, you've still got time to read them right up to May. So you've got The Judas Blossom and The Blood Dim Tide. Great Christmas presents. That's all I'm saying. So there's those 2, and then the 3rd book comes out, and that wraps up that. I'm working on a bunch of other things. Some I'll be able to talk about in the future, but I'm not going to talk about them here at length because this video is already going to run quite long. So if you want to follow me in terms of being a writer, I would suggest you go on there and go on my newsletter and just stay up to date that way. I should say one of the nicest things that's happened in recent years since I started doing the channel is that a lot of people have come up to me in person, usually at events, and said, I like your videos, I watch them, they're really useful, they're really helpful, they've really helped me with my writing. And I do appreciate that. And some people even came up to me at Worldcon and said that. So thank you for all of those of you who have reached out to me in person or on social media or whatever it might be and have got in touch to let me know that I've helped them in some way. I think given how big YouTube is and given how big the kind of social media and the internet landscape is, I was just one other small voice trying to deliver some kind of truth and logic and sense in a world of a lot of people who are just painting traditional publishing as evil for the purposes of saying, oh, self-publishing is so much better. Oh, but here's my service and I'll only charge you $5,000 and then another $10,000 to get your novel out. But this is the right way to make money and you'll make a fortune and blah, blah, blah. And it's just so much bollocks. It's ridiculous. So hopefully I've helped debunk some of that crap that's out there. And you're a bit more informed. If this is your first video, what a video to land on. There are about another 200 videos on the channel that has a lot of information and common sense based upon experience as someone who's actually done it for the last 10 plus years at this point. I signed with my agent in 2013, so it's now been, 11 years that I've been working with traditional publishers in some capacity. So that's been really interesting, but thank you for those of you who reached out to me. So I guess it just leaves me to say, if you want to follow me or you don't want to subscribe to my newsletter, but you want to keep in touch with what I'm doing, I am on Twitter, but Twitter has really gone down the toilet in the last couple of years. Ever since Musk took over, it's a complete shit show. The best place to find me is on Instagram, really. I post about things on there, book reviews, what's going on with me sometimes, links to articles, events I'm attending. But really the newsletter is the best place, or just keep an eye on my Instagram for that kind of thing. I'm not on any other social media. I'm not on TikTok. I created an account so that someone couldn't create one and use my name, but I'm not actually on TikTok. And I'm not on Blue Sky because I'm trying to limit the amount of time I actually spend on social media and spend more time writing and doing other things away from social media. I mean, I'm on Threads and I post on there, but that's mostly just a spin-off of Instagram anyway. So I'm trying to spend less time in general. I'm a member of a few Discord groups, but again, I'm trying not to spend too much time on there and actually spend, time in the real world. And not to get too maudlin, but in the last few years, I've lost friends and family as I've got older and for various illnesses and all sorts of things. And time is precious. And I love writing, and there's a lot of writing I still want to do. I have more ideas than time. It's something I've come to accept, but there's a bunch of things I can get written before they finally find me slumped over my keyboard at whatever age it might be. And so I want to get those stories done. There is something burning in the back of my brain, some ideas that I just want to commit to paper, virtual paper, whatever, and get out there and share them with people. And self-publishing is allowing me to experiment with some ideas and play around with length and things that I couldn't have done before. So I'm going to try more speculative fiction in the future because why not? So I actually forgot to do any kind of a closing when I previously recorded this, so I'm going to do it now. So if you like the author interviews, there are lots of other channels out there that now do that kind of thing, Beard of Darkness and a bunch of others. I've been on some of them recently, so check out those. I just want to say thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for the last kind of 4 years of me doing this and seeing me through it. If you know me in person, WhatsApp me or something else, or contact me on social media and talk to me that way. I'm not going anywhere. It's just I want to spend more time writing. I want to spend more time doing other things. And this does take a huge amount of effort and a lot of work. So I'm just going to take a break now and do other things instead. So thank you for everything. Thanks for watching the videos, and hopefully I'll see you in person or we'll chat online in the future. Bye, everyone.